Hello, Flendos. I'm NYX Jordanho, and you're watching. Today's video is gonna be me getting ready to do some laundry because I need some clean clothes. So today is that day, that predestined day. We're gonna just like get ready so everyone in the public laundry space knows that I got my life together. I'll put all the products I use below, but I don't think I really am gonna go through the nitty gritty of my face process, but I will give you a little in-depth story about like what I'm gonna be doing with my eyeballs. So don't you worry, you're gonna get it all. Before I do, I actually pre-dampened my beauty blenders in the sink, and so you can see from last time the bowl, it has like, I need to clean it because it still has foundation residue in it. This is my Tinkerbell kitchenette set with her friend, her affirmative action friend. I think I read something really good about Disney, or it just like wasn't good about Disney, but yeah, it's good to have representation, but it's like representation shouldn't be a marketing scheme. And so while like I'm glad I'm seeing more like, you know, like Black women and Asian women in media representation, especially for Disney, it just like sometimes feels like they're like, oh, well, we have our checklist. There was a great episode of Still Processing, which is a podcast that y'all should all be subscribing to, even if you don't listen to this podcast. And it was talking about like the Grammys this year and how like this year there wasn't like a cis-het white man who was nominated for Album of the Year. And it felt like a marketing scheme. So like, it's like, oh, well, this year we're just gonna get all the people of color covered, and Lord, so women too. And because of that, like, we can give Taylor Swift an award next year. That's how it feels. So yeah. So we're just making a little net for baking because you never know. You'll be like, oh, I don't get fallout with this palette. And then one shade just decides to go on a Lacusa wild party. It better be safe than sorry, but I think I'm just only gonna bake my under eye right now and then don't need to do the rest. So I'm gonna take the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. It's pretty loved. I mean, I love these matte shades. All the berry tones are really nice, but I really love these matte shades. Even when I was using the Morphe 35M more, I think once I got this palette, I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. I'm going to use this all the time, and I did. So we're just gonna go back into this today. Yay! I'm gonna do y'all the honor. I've had this palette for like over a year now. I'm gonna take off the, I like the packaging. You see the, oh, excuse my nails, but like, see that. I'm gonna take this off so I can actually use the mirror. Hello, what is it like? Oh, ow, oh. It like got under me. Okay. Oh, look at her. Look at my iPad. Look at her. Oh yes, oh darling. I really like Anastasia's packaging. I like the velour. I mean, for Modern Renaissance it gets really dirty, but like with Prison Palette it also gets really dirty, but it's black and like kind of like velours, kind of like spraying all that tempera everywhere. Here's the thing, I didn't buy the Subculture palette because I was, you know, I was waiting to see reviews, and then I had yet to see anyone like really rave about it, which was kind of unfortunate because I really liked the actual like color palettes in there, and that was really quite lovely. And then when I saw Prism and, you know, limited edition, you know how they get you there, I was like, well, I want to get it. And then so I bought Prism like in December or whatnot, and I actually I enjoy the palette. I'm not like grabbing for it every day, but I don't think it's like as bad as people think it is. I mean, I've gotten some pretty decent looks from that palette, and I've yet to do soft glam, but Modern Renaissance is always just like, this is what I wore. I used this palette I was going to a wedding for New Year's Eve. It was the first wedding like I was going to as an adult, and I was just like, oh, well, I can use like my Viseart or my Pat McGrath, but then I just really felt drawn to this palette. It's such a cute palette. So what I've been doing while I was talking is I've been taking this fluffy E27 brush from Morphe, and then I've been dipping into tempera. I love all the names because I'm art history ho. Like for Halloween 2017, I was girl with a pearl earring because I didn't really need to use like eyeshadow for the look, but I did pop some Vermeer on my lid. Vermeer is the painter who painted that painting, and so I thought that was like a little like touch of nuance for the look. So okay, great. Now that we're set with all of this tempera, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take, there's a brush somewhere. There's a brush always somewhere on a plate. So I'm actually really dirty, and I'm gonna just make sure, I think there's some blue shades on this rose Morphe brush. We're gonna dip into warm taupe. And we're just gonna dust that up within the area where we put the transition shade. So I like that it's a warm taupe. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and then someone will be like, oh yeah, it's warm tone. And I'm like, okay, do we really need these binaries in 2018? Can't we just have colors? Love is love is love is love. But anyway, so when I look at this color, I can see how it's warm when you apply it, but it definitely, like, taupe generally feels more cool toned. So it's cool for me. It's cool tuned for me. Oh my god, but do you see? Good thing we baked. These palettes are pretty good, and like it applies nicely, but sometimes the fallout is real, and I'm not talking about that game that my boyfriend plays. It was so cute because I was singing Wonderful Guy from South Pacific. Because, you know, I had a Kelly O'Hara phase, still do. I'm as corny as Kansas in August. And then, like, he was like, oh, I love that song. I was like, how do you know a Rodgers and Hammerstein song? How do you know that? You don't usually know these things. And he's like, oh, well, it was in Fallout. Isn't that cute? That, like, sometimes how, like, a culture is really a multimedia experience, and that it, like, can really infuse itself into, like, different aspects of media. Like, I've never played Fallout before, but that, like, there's a song from a musical that I know in that game that, like, by proxy, people who probably don't have that much exposure to musical theater are being exposed to it. It's like, it's cool. It's out of this world. Out of this world. Oh, here's a fluffy brush. Like, I have the little tea tins. I should just get, like, actual storage. Well, like, if you sponsor my videos, comment, like, subscribe, and maybe I'll be able to afford those things. I'm going to take just fluffy little brush. So I'm gonna go in with this fluffy Morphe brush. I think it's from the Rose collection. Rose gold, what a scam. So I'm going into Bon Fresco, and I think I'm just gonna slightly. Oh baby, we are getting that, yes. Oh darling, we are. I usually go for like tempera, raw sienna, burnt orange, and then like pop like Vermeer over and call it a day, because that's just like such an easy look. But yeah, these like more purpley, like muted grayer tones I usually don't explore as much. So this is the people at the laundromat, they're going to be like, okay, who is that? What is he doing? So we're going to take Antique Bronze, this shade right here. And I'm just taking this MAC synthetic brush. This is so funny. I don't think I've ever used this color because it's really cute. I would say it's almost like a demi matte because it doesn't seem as like, it's not quite shimmery, but it's not, it's like, Isn't this just darling? Wow, okay. I have a very particular way of doing my eyes because I don't know, I don't think I have hooded lids. I think it's like a demi fold. Like it's because the fold here, I can't really apply that much product above it. Someone at Sephora was like, oh, it's like you did a cut crease, but you didn't even like cut the crease. I'm like, yeah, that's just how I apply eyeshadow. Soften it with this. So yeah, just go into a little more tempera. How do you put, I always wanted to say tempura. Is it tempera? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always open and willing and listening for corrections because I think that's the only way the human race will survive, with always self-editing and making sure that you're consciously doing the right thing and saying and respecting and, you know. Stereo. Maybe we'll have some fun with like some red colors in the lower lash line. Where are the brushes? For no matter where my man is, I am his forever. Where did I put that damn brush? I'm going in with the smaller end of the brush from the Urban Decay Electric Palette. I'm gonna go into Venetian Red, this color right here, and I'm gonna just lightly work that into my lower lash line. And by lightly, I need to build a new vocabulary and a new glossary for people so they know what I'm talking about when I say lightly, because I guess putting red in the waterline is a pretty bold move for some of y'all. So I work in a coffee shop and like I'll be wearing like the most unblend ridiculous eyeshadow looks, and then people will be like, oh my god, I love your hair. No, but those would be like, I think they appreciate the effort and rather and so, well, in my head I'm like, well, the application isn't actually that good. They appreciate the effort and like the boldness to wear a bold color, you know. A for effort, B for application. Everything's askew. Yeah, this kind of looks vampiric. It looks like I haven't slept in weeks. Ooh, okay, I'm looking into my monitor. Can I say a monitor? The one thing that I really hate about using brushes and eyeshadow done in the waterline is when I get it too close and then my eyes start watering up and then it starts activating. You do the trick to like get more pigment out of your shadows and you dampen your brush. Like my eyes like, oh, let me dampen that for you. I'm like, no, I don't need it to be that pigmented right now. You can slow your roll. And yeah, I think I got it before any of that started happening. I want to take Primavera on this little pencil brush and I'm gonna just pop that right in as a highlight shade, inner highlight corner shade. Okay, we're feeling that. I noticed while editing the last video that I was saying that I'm feeling that, and you know, I think it's time to like really explain what that is. No, but I'm feeling good. I think that's what it's just like, you know, that it's like italicized bold print published in the New York Times, Sunday art section. You get it Saturday, save it for the next day. Yeah. I'm just gonna put on some eyeliner, lashes, finish it, and then call it a day. Wait, but before I do that, just brushing the bake off. I leave my bake on for way too long, I think, but it's okay because I take forever to do eyeshadow. Charming, familiar, the perfect cafe. Correction, I know the lyric is romantic, but I just wanted to say familiar. Sheldon Harnick, please do not attack me for changing your lyric in a YouTube video. I'm really pissed right now because really? And here's the completed look, I think. Oh, wait, no, I need to do mascara. 1 second. JK. The eternal struggle of having beautiful, voluminous lioness hair is, then it gets in your mouth all the time. And so this is the completed look with the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm ready to take my quarters out of my little cup and drop them into the machine and be like, oh yeah, give me like a whole like 27 minutes, bitch. Thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or whatever you want to do. If you want to see more content like this is fun. I'm not burnt out yet. Hope to see you in the next one. XO. XOXO. Love mix ho.